Hey, so it seems like in your day-to-day process, you create events on your calendar and you need them to sync over to HubSpot automatically as new tasks, but you haven't really found a good solution for that yet. Well, in this video, I'm going to show you how you can set up CalendarSplice to do this very thing. And to do that, we'll be leveraging workflows that do exist in CalendarSplice. So I'm going to go and navigate to the workflow screen by clicking the tab on the left panel. In order for CalendarSplice to sync over new events, we have to look out for certain texts that are present in the event title or the body. In this case, I have an existing workflow that will look for inbound sync, the text inbound sync being provided in the title. Now, why is it done this way? Well, because new events are always being created on the calendar, and we want to make sure we're not flooding your HubSpot task list with a bunch of new tasks that may not necessarily be relevant to your business. So in this way, we can ensure that the things that we sync over from your calendar to HubSpot are things that you've already predetermined as relevant. So I'm going to go on ahead and click the Add a Workflow button here, and we'll go through the steps of creating a new workflow. So to create one for detecting new calendar events, we will use the option that says when a new item is detected from my calendar or task list and the item is not synced to HubSpot. And we'll click the filter group button. Now, filter group basically allows us to determine what properties and what value for those properties we're looking at when determining whether or not we're going to sync this new event as a new task to HubSpot. So I'm going to click, in this case, the one that I already had before. I'm going to look in the title and I'm going to say the title contains a certain text value. So this is just replicating the workflow that I already have. Title contains inbound sync. Now I can also say that maybe I want it to contain inbound sync or something else. So we'll just do another property here. We'll say title contains, let's just say something else, right? Whoop, I spelled that wrong. Now you don't have to use the underscores. This is just the way I do it. You really don't have to use the underscores. But in this case, my workflow, I'm going to click the preview button here just so I can read it out loud, is basically when a new item is detected from my calendar or task list and that item is not synced to HubSpot, it should sync only if the title contains inbound sync or the title contains something else. All right, so this just allows us to preview what the workflow is. I'm going to go on ahead and click save on this. And you can see I have my two workflows enabled. And so I do have this warning message because I have two workflows that do rely on the same event. I'm going to actually disable one of the workflows just so we can check and see how this OR case is actually going to work. All right, so now that we have my workflow, let's go on ahead and create a new event on my calendar. Okay, so on my calendar here, let's go to HubSpot. We'll refresh this just so we can see that there are no tasks created. I'm going to go on ahead and create a new task here, or a new event, and I'll call it inbound sync. And I will set the time is fine. Matter of fact, everything here is fine. Let's go on ahead and click save on that. And CalendarSplice behind the scenes is going to look for this new event that is on your calendar. And let's go on ahead and go to HubSpot and let's refresh. And we can see here that my new task was actually created for my event. And if I modify this task, it will sync back to the event that I already created. So now I'm going to get rid of inbound sync and we'll just call this my first to-do item, just so we can see that it will sync. I'm going to click save on that. While that's running, I'm also going to simultaneously, let me go on ahead and create another event, but this time we'll do it with my other text that was in the OR. So we'll say something else. Hopefully I did spell that right in both sections. This time we'll add a description. And let's go on ahead and click save on that. Cool. So let's go back to HubSpot and we'll refresh and we see something else was synced. All right, so now when I go back to my calendar, I can actually see that my original event was updated here to the text that I modified in HubSpot. And this is just demonstrating that the task that we send over to HubSpot, the new task that we create, is automatically linked to the original event that you did create. When we created these events on a calendar, we only used the text that we had in our workflow, the inbound sync or something else. But the text doesn't only have to contain that. If I go back to my calendar, let's create a new event here, and we'll do something else. We'll say dummy text. So this event will sync over to HubSpot, and everything that was in the title will be present in HubSpot. Something else, dummy text. So you don't have to make a new event that only says something else or only says whatever you determined in your workflow. You can just include that line of text within the event title or event body if you do select that. If there's any issues going on and things aren't syncing as expected, you can go on ahead and check the sync audits, and this should show when we pulled over something from your calendar and sent it over to HubSpot. And if you run into any issues, please contact us at team@calendarsplice.com. Thanks.